Hey you guys, in this video I am going to be doing some slower tapping and scratching on hardback books. This is a custom video made for John. John, thank you so much for everything. John has been very patient. I was supposed to film this video for him in the US because the place that I stayed at had a good amount of hardback books, but my mind was, during that trip there was a lot going on and I completely forgot to film the video. So I felt really bad because it's actually really hard for me to find reasonably priced hardback books in Egypt. Most books here are softcover. I want to go with 90% in all the bookstores and like book locations that I've gone to. I don't know why that is. It's something I've found to be true, at least in my area. And so I'm going to start with one book here and we'll go to the others. So yeah, when I got back to Egypt I was like, first of all John, I'm sorry because I completely forgot to film this, and I'm double sorry because it's going to take me a minute to find hardback books here. Thankfully, I researched a bit and I found a bookstore in a city next to me, and it was really a cute shop. If I remember, I'm going to try to put some photos at the end of the video. You can also check out like a gist of the store in the video that I just posted, tapping through a bookstore. I did a bit of a video when I was in there. Because luckily the people working there, I kind of just asked. I had been looking at books for a while because I was also purchasing some, and they said, they kind of like came up to me to, is there anything I can help with, etc. And were very kind, and I said, I'm looking for a few books. And when the girl kind of walked away from me, I said, actually, there is something. How would you feel about me filming a video in this shop? Would that be okay? I have a YouTube channel, and I just kind of asked her, and she talked to someone else that worked in the shop and got permission for me to film like a short video. So you can kind of see some of the shop in that video, but they didn't actually want me necessarily to like advertise for them or show anything about their store. That's why I didn't put the name of the store in that video. But it's a really cute one, and I don't know, I feel like there's no harm in it, but I'm gonna respect that. I, of all people, understand why you might not want to share. So thank you, John, for your custom video and for your patience in receiving it. He's so cool. Every time I message, he's like, no worries, take your time. Like, the last thing I want is for this to be stressful for you. Thank you, John. Yeah, some custom videos I can film like immediately because I have what I need for them, but some take me a lot longer when I don't have the thing I need for the video, or one of the hardest ones is when there's like a person needed for the video, like a friend of mine to come and be the model or something. That one often takes quite long also, just because you have to schedule that, plan that, ask the person, etc. And in Egypt, it's a bit harder for me to find people that I can film with, because a lot of my friends, they are Muslims that cover their head and arms and legs. That's part of they believe, and not all Muslim women do that. Some Muslim women believe they don't, that is not required. And so, just to be clear on that, but for the many friends that I do have who do cover, they can't show their arms or back or hair, so it actually is a bit harder here to find models for that. I'm also going to be focused on the outsides of the books, the hardback books, as opposed to the insides, as a part of John's request. But I will do another video with these books. I'll do a no-talking version. That's my normal, typical fast tapping and scratching. And I'm also going to do another talking version with these books, because I have the what are they called? The book covers also. So I'll do a whole video talking and no talking with these books in the fast pace. And if you guys would want a no talking version of this specific custom video where it's slow tapping and scratching, and just the covers instead of like the pages, like when I do the other videos I'll do page sounds and all that stuff. So if you want a no talking version of this specific custom video, let me know in the comments so I know, because it may or may not be something you would like. Books are definitely one of my favourite triggers, and I was really happy to finally get to purchase some hardback books here, because I have gotten other requests for them before, and the first time I felt so bad, but I could only get one book. The place I went, and typically they can be quite expensive, as I said, so it's like, it doesn't quite work, but I was able to get these for a decent amount. And it was great because I got to film there as well. So I felt it was a win-win situation, if you will. As you can see, this book is called Arab Women Writers. I chose this as one of the books because I thought that was really, I don't know, I love it. I love that the Arab women writers have the voice out there. One of my best friends in the world, she has a really special passion. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but she has a very specific and like honed in passion for poetry amongst Afghani women. Poetry amongst Afghani women. She lived in Afghanistan for some time, and she was there at different times for different purposes, and something she was very passionate about. In fact, she did her PhD on the topic. That woman, my friend, is like freaking superwoman. Her story is unbelievable. She, while she was in Afghanistan, she had a stroke, young age, like just really bizarre. Had had a stroke, and it's awful. She had to be helicoptered to different hospitals and such to be taken care of, but it's a pretty amazing story. She spoke, let me think, all the languages she spoke. So English, she spoke Spanish, Kazakh, which is from Kazakhstan, and Russian, which I think, I'm sorry, not Russian, forgive me, not Russian, there's a mix there, what's it called, Dari. Dari is what's spoken in Afghanistan, and I want to say Kazakh and possibly Dari have some connection to Russian, correct me if I'm wrong. Portions of general Arabic, not like a specific region, and she's an incredible poet, and she wrote poetry in so many different languages, and she's just like a passionate like artist type, and like very caring, thoughtful person. And she lost her language with the stroke that she had, which was she has something called aphasia, where she can hear the words in her mind. She knows what she wants to say, but she can't actually say it. So this like unbelievable woman went through years of working on her language skills and developing them, being able to speak again. Not fully, it's still it comes year after year. She works very hard at it. And I kid you not, she got her PhD, and what's it called when you the end of your PhD, the process where you go and you defend your thesis, I think. I could cry. My gosh, she did it. She did the complete thing. She spoke her entire thing, her whole. Whew. So she did it. She did it. The entire thing. She spoke the entire thing. This was years after her stroke, but hers was. It was really bad, you guys. It took, like, she had no words except for thank you when it first happened. Like, this is a woman who spoke so many languages and so verbal, and she pushed through probably one of the hardest things that could have ever happened to her, and she defended her thesis. I hope I'm saying that correctly, and that's a large presentation. So yeah, she's pretty unreal. She's been one of my best friends for a long time, and I love her very much. Okay, next. Didn't expect to tell that story, but it's very appropriate for the book that I just tapped on. It's hopefully an honour to her. Okay, I'm going to put this one down and grab this next one. So this is a book, I'm told, I didn't know this when I purchased it actually, but that this is a pretty famous author in Egypt, an older gentleman who has written a lot apparently. And I went into another bookstore the next day after purchasing these, just one in like a mall, and yeah, the person I was with said, "Hey, that's the author again that you just purchased a book from. He's everywhere, like he's very famous here, and written some important things." So So it seems he's written a lot over the years. To flip it over. I know you've seen everything backwards. Let's see. I know that, John, you want the hardcover portion. I think the inside of this would probably still count. A nice book, well made, sturdy. What's this? I don't know. So, are any of you guys big readers? Any of you love to read? And if so, what do you love to read? What genre? What genres? I've told you guys this before, but I am not a reader. I'm not going to lie and say I am. I am not even close to being a reader. I am terrible at reading. I literally can't sit still. I just can't. It's like I can't do it. Not for a book. Like I don't like it. I get like I'm too restless to read a book. I don't know why. It's kind of a funny thing in my family though, because growing up, I had a family member that read, books to me and siblings every night, and they did that because they love reading, and they were like, they really wanted us to love reading, but unfortunately for them, none of us enjoy it. None of us can do it. The funny part is, like, we love children's books, love them, own them as adults, read them, love them, amazing, love them. Wouldn't read an adult book if, like, we were paid to. I'm totally serious. It's embarrassing to say, but it's true. Okay, sorry about that. I was getting interrupted by some of the littles downstairs, but I was talking about my lack of reading. There are times when I read, but it's always for, like, learning something I'm very interested in, and then I'll just, like, eat a book up. But it's because I'm interested in the topic. It's like I'm more like, if I'm going to read a book, it's a topic book that I want to learn something about, then okay. But yeah, that's about it. My favourite book is a children's book, shocker, and it's a book called You Are Special by the author Max Lucado. Max Lucado, I love that book so much. actually, I did a video where I read the book. I just remembered that. If I remember in editing, I will put a link to that so you can hear the story. It's a children's book, but I think it's a great book for children and adults. But yeah, it's for like kids. I love it. The thing I love about kids' books, children's books, like young children's books, not like teenager books or elementary school, like young kids' books. It's the drawings, the artwork. I love it. When I think of reading when I was young, like very, very little, like I would talk a lot about the artwork and point to things and talk a lot about that and be very intrigued by that as I was listening to the story. Did anyone ever read the Berenstain Bears books when they were little? Loved those. They made my imagination go wild. There was one. Is it the one called No Girls Allowed? Like in the tree house. They like build a tree house. It's like a brother and a sister. They're both bears. I don't know if I'm mixing two stories together, but there's one with the tree house. And every time I saw the pictures of that tree house, my mind just went wild as a kid. So I would go outside and like build things. Try to make a treehouse in any way, shape, or form. I think, like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like kids still read Berenstain Bears books like all the time. I'm pretty sure some of the littles in my life have Berenstain Bear books. I really hope I remember to put a link to You Are Special. Let's see. Sometimes I remember links. I've been remembering more lately. I'm just going to get the next book. Okay, it's here. I've been remembering to put links more lately, but they're usually like, if I'm putting out the talking version of a video, then I link the no talking version, etc. So to try to remember that I brought up a video in another video, we'll see how I do. Okay. So this book, also hardcover, but different texture. It's more smooth. And I'm excited about this book because this is my favorite place in Egypt, Khan el-Khalili. I talk about it often. In fact, I did an entire series tapping and scratching through all of the different shops that you can find at this outdoor bazaar. It's an outdoor bazaar in Egypt and it's awesome. there are pictures, I will check that out with you in the other videos with these books. But yeah, haven't opened this one yet. One of my favourite sounds on books is always the spine of the book. So the same picture is on the back and the front. For those of you who have not heard me describe this place before, I'm going to go ahead and describe it, but I apologise for those of you who have heard me describe it many times. But to me it's a very magical place in the sense that okay, so it's like you're walking through an outdoor marketplace that's decorated and colourful, and the architecture is, you can see all the Middle Eastern architecture. It's like little alleyways that are just covered in lamps and jewellery and clothing and everything that you would want to buy for souvenirs, touristy kind of stuff. But they also have this beautiful spot with tons of different shaped lanterns that are really beautiful. And there are other shops in the marketplace for lamps too, but there's this one spot in particular that's kind of in the middle area, and it's open and has stairs coming down into like a little area where the ceiling's very high and stairs come down, and there's lamps on either side, and it creates kind of an experience. It's really, really beautiful. Lots of different colours of fabrics everywhere, in scarves and in dresses. There's of course like t-shirts, and there's shops like with ballet dancing clothes. Lots of jewellery shops of different kinds. So yeah, I did an entire series where I tapped and scratched through these little shops that are all throughout this outdoor marketplace. So it's set up where, although it is outdoors and it's all in like alleyways, that's like the best way I could think to corridors, you know, alleyways, not good, corridors. And it's just like you're going, weaving in and out, and there's people everywhere, and yeah, so the shops are set up where they can actually close their shops. Like the shop is indoors, but they open it up to these corridors, so the shop owners can keep everything overnight locked up. They it's almost like garages next to each other. Maybe that's a good way to describe. So they can pull their garage door down and lock it, but every day they pull those up and pull things out, so that it's not just like, you know, one garage, one. It feels all flowy together. And yeah, I did a video in a shop that was all like stones, rocks and stones and things like that. One was all beaded jewellery, so like bead sounds. It was great. Another one, like a lot of different souvenirs and alabaster jars, alabaster designs, and what else? I did a lamp shop, a full lamp shop that had like lamps and mirrors that are like so amazing. I did a belly dancing shop, an entire belly dancing shop, so all the belly dancing belts with those little jingly bits on them. Sounds so good. You know, probably one of the best places, like I don't have like a playlist for this specific location, although it wouldn't be a bad idea to make one, but you can find these videos in two different playlists of mine. One would be the Egypt playlist, and the other one would be walkthroughs. I have a whole playlist of store walkthroughs or room walkthroughs of different sorts, and you could find them there too. But yeah, maybe go to the Egypt one, just kind of scroll down because there's probably less videos in the Egypt one than in the I lost my train of thought. What was the other one? Walkthroughs. I actually have quite a few playlists. Feel free to check those out. Of course I have like no talking, whispered, soft spoken, different playlists like that. But I also have some like, I think I have one for like aggressive tapping and scratching, although this video is not really representative of my main style. It's quite fast tapping, so aggressive for me is very, very fast. I think I have one for camera tapping and any kind of like screen tapping. I have holiday playlists if you want to see like all holiday videos. And I have my colour themed playlist. I just put out talking and no talking version with these yellow nails. I did a colour theme of yellow, so all the items are those colours. Anyway, there's lots of playlists. Hair play, back scratching, arm scratching is one, and hair play separately. Oh yeah, one of my favourites is my travel to and I used to do videos a lot, travel to videos, where it'd be like travel to India, and everything I tap and scratch on in the video is either directly from India or something that is very much associated to India. And I did so many different countries, you guys, so many different ones. So if you like learning about different cultures or you find that interesting, I would definitely check out that playlist. To bring back the other two. I wanted to see. Okay, I just checked, and yes, so I think these are. I'm guessing that these are like the logo for the publisher. And I think that's American University of Cairo. I think it's the publisher of all of these books. And as I looked in this bookstore that I was telling you about earlier, I noticed that almost every adult book that I opened up, because there's like a kids section too. In fact, a lot of the children's books were too, but they were all published by the American University of Cairo. I got to go to the American University of Cairo maybe 6 months ago. And I got to see actually a dance performance of one of my dance instructors here. She was performing there, and that's where she is in school, and she taught a dance class at the gym that I go to, where I go to the different dance classes. In fact, it was the only class that was like a dance class versus like Zumba and things like that. And she's a phenomenal dancer and performer, and I loved going to see her. And so there were also some musical performances as well. I was there for her. I actually put on Patreon, I believe, videos of all of those performances, both the dances and the musical performances. It's kind of cool to go to. It was interesting. And they had it very well planned out, and lots of like beautiful artistry that night there in Cairo. And they did have a bookstore. They have a really nice bookstore there. So yeah, if you're ever at the American University of Cairo, I would check out their bookstore. Really beautiful space. They just made it really lovely and unique and interesting. Also, they had lots of children's books there too. It's not like a university bookstore, it's just a bookstore like for anyone and everyone. Today, I was in a class at my gym actually, and I got so irritated. I have this really weird thing where I get super irritated when dance instructors or exercise instructors like aren't on the rhythm, like aren't on the beat of the music. And you know, to their credit, like it was an exercise class today. Like it was, what's it called? It's called Body Pump. If anyone's ever taken that class, because I think it's the one, I always say this wrong, the one that's L-E-S, le. I love that I take the class all the time. I have no idea. I can't remember the name of the less. You guys have reminded me before too, and I'm forgetting again. Anyway, the one that starts with L-E-S. If you're into that at all, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's called Body Pump. So it's weights and stuff like that. But like it's to music. It's choreographed to music. It's beat, you know, like you're still supposed to be on the beat. And I think what some of the instructors might not realize, clearly, sorry, is that part of what doing it to the music and the beat makes it really fun, and your mind gets into the movement and the rhythm, and you feel the beat as you move, and it's like a kind of, you know, like powerful to kind of like go with the beat, you know. But no, we're not on the beat. Then instructors aren't usually on the beat very much. And it's I should probably, you know, do a rant about this another time, because it's like opening up a whole bag of worms for me. It's like the least important thing in the world. But for some reason, it really bothers me. In the classes where the instructors aren't on the beat, like I can't stop thinking about it the whole time. My brain is hearing the beat. My brain, my body, just like, you know, thank God, it's nothing I can be like good for me. It's just I'm built that way, you know, just made that way. I hear the beat, I hear the rhythm, and you know, it's kind of hard when the instructor's not on the beat. It's hard to like focus on the moves. Anyone else experience this before, or am I the only one that this bothers? You know, in dance classes, teachers tend to be on the beat. It's a dance class. They can't really be certified to teach the class if they're not on the beat. Whereas for some of these more like exercise classes, it's obvious they can be certified without being on the beat, on the rhythm. It's actually painful for me, difficult for me to do it off the rhythm. It's so hard to do it out of rhythm. I don't know like how to move. So sometimes I'm just like, I give up and I just do it on the rhythm. And I'm like not doing it with the rest of the class, you know, like, because everyone's following the instructor. And usually I try to just follow the instructor, because I don't want to be like rude about it, you know, like I don't want to like irritate the instructor or disrespect the instructor. But sometimes I'm just like, no, I will not squat at this point. I will only I do stand in the back though, in case that happens, so that I can just sometimes I just close my eyes and go with the rhythm, and then I enjoy it more, because it's like, it's more fun that way. You don't feel like you're working out when you're like with the rhythm, you know, you forget, just like in the groove, listen to the music. Alright, that's enough of that. So, thank you, John, so much for your custom video and for your great patience and for your generosity. Thank you, John. So, I hope that you guys have a really great rest of your day or night, and I'll try to remember all the links that I talked about. If I don't, feel free to mention it in the comments.